It's me, Flyersguy, and welcome to this edition of Throwback Flyersguy. I'm your host, Flyersguy, and in today's episode, I'm going to tell a story about when I used to go to Rhawnhurst Middle School when I was a young kid. And I'll also talk about the time I graduated Rhawnhurst Middle School. So, my story starts in the early 90s. I just recently left my old school of Kennedy Crossing, and the less I say about that school, the better, because I'm not gonna say any names here, but I didn't like that school. I thought it was a very, I just didn't like it. And the people there, they weren't very tolerant to my disability. So, the less about that place, the better. So, I moved on, and I ended up going to Rhawnhurst Middle School. And I gotta say, it was a breath of fresh air, because that school was a great school, and they really worked with their students, and they were good teachers. They really knew what was best for their students, and they just really took their time to work with students in that school, especially me, and there were some subjects I had a little trouble with. And at the time, I was a little bit wound up when I was a kid. I'm not going to say why. I don't want to get into that on here because it's a very, very tender subject of why I acted the way I did when I was a kid, so I'm not going to talk about it. It's medical history that I don't want to talk about. So, I go to Rhawnhurst Middle School, and I think my first year might have been in 92, 93 was my first year at Rhawnhurst Middle School. And I go into class. I'm a kid, but at the same time, I'm kind of a nervous wreck to meet new kids and meet new people. And this is the first time I met one of my best friends from way back, Christine Schmidt, and we became best friends. She really was very understanding towards me, and she understood what I was going through and how things were with me. So we become good friends that year. Going into my second year at Rhawnhurst Middle School, and things are going pretty well. And then I really want to talk about the year following that, as in my first year with my teacher, Miss Augie. And I have to say, she quickly became one of my favorite teachers at that school, because I was crazy. I was a crazy kid back then, and she was so patient with me and so understanding towards me. I was nuts. I was a crazy kid, and at the time now, I realize, being a teacher isn't easy, and I realized I was a crazy kid back then. I did some crazy things. But luckily, she was very patient with me. I'm truly grateful for that as well. We had some good years at Rhawnhurst Middle School, and we had some fun times as well. And I also remember the teacher's aide that was in our classroom, Miss Johnson, and she was a nice lady. she was really into wrestling, just like I was. And I didn't really become a wrestling fan until '96. But we started talking, and you know, she was a good teacher. She was patient with me too. Although sometimes I was a little crazy at the time. Sometimes I did some things that got me in trouble. But most of the time, she was really patient with me and all the students in that classroom, much like the teacher. So, going to the summer of '95, and my regular teacher was absent because she wasn't feeling well. So, they brought this guy in, a little short guy, kind of looked like he was Italian or something. His name was Mr. Scheffler, and this guy had a very creative but fun teaching style. I remember he had this like fake jail that he would hook up in the classroom whenever a student wasn't doing good, or wasn't being good, or acting up in class. He would put them in there. A lot of us at first didn't really like the guy, but we started to really like the guy. We thought he was funny. We thought he was entertaining, and just the way he was so creative with the way he would teach a class. It was great. And before him, we had some crazy substitute teachers as well. But this guy, he was pretty damn good. And I liked the way he taught us. And I also liked the way Miss Augie taught us, too. So, in a way, he kind of learned how to be creative from her in a way. So, we go in to the next year, and this is not the final year, but 94, 95. And I remember that year, because that was the year we went to the Camden Aquarium, and that was a fun trip. I remember my sister came with me, and at the time, I was starting to lose my strength, and I wasn't walking as good as I used to walk, so I ended up taking a wheelchair with me, because I would get tired when I would walk because of my disability. It was, you know, when you have muscular dystrophy, you get tired very quickly. So, we had a fun time at Camden Aquarium, and this wasn't my last time of being Miss Owen's class, because this was my last year in her class. So we go to the rest of our class, and I really liked Rhawnhurst. I was starting to like it a lot, and I saw that place as kind of like a second home for me. And it was a long, long summer, and things started to really change for me. I was getting weaker, and I really couldn't walk as good as I used to. So years later, I went to Rhawnhurst, and I was in a wheelchair. At first, I had to have help getting me into the building, because they didn't have a ramp yet. So, years later, my uncle, who worked at that year, my uncle was working for the school district. He comes in and he says, you know, this school should really have a ramp for my nephew Timmy, because he likes going to school. he likes interacting with other students and his friends. See, before this, I only go into Rhawnhurst for like a half a day because there's certain places in the building that I could not reach because it has steps to go to the second floor in that building. Luckily, my uncle was able to talk to the principal, and it took some convincing, but the principal agreed to put a ramp in at Rhawnhurst Middle School. And this was my last year at Rhawnhurst. So everything went well that year. Met some new friends. I had a lot of great people that I met. And going back to a couple of years before this, I still remember the big birthday party at my house when my friends from Rhawnhurst came to see me. I remember that. So, my last year at Rhawnhurst, and we're doing pretty well. We have an awesome trip on the Spirit of Philadelphia. We had a lot of fun on that trip. We go into our last day at Rhawnhurst, and it's graduation day. And I really don't want to say goodbye to everyone. I mean, it's killing me to say goodbye to everyone. Especially my best friend from back in the day, Christine Schmidt. And I graduate, and it's a very sad day. Well, it's a very happy day, but it's a very sad day because I'm leaving Rhawnhurst. I miss Miss Deere, and Miss Porter was teaching me, and I have to say she really worked hard with us. She was a great teacher, and she was a tough teacher, but she motivated us, and she really helped us. When we graduated, it was tough, so I'd say goodbye to all the people that helped me. My first teacher at Rhawnhurst, Miss Ofer, and I also had to say goodbye to Miss Augie as well. And also, my teacher's aide, Miss Johnson, and all my friends. Luckily, Rhawnhurst was close to where I lived, so there wasn't really much of a distance between all of us. So, I leave, and it's graduation day. We all say our goodbyes, and I end up leaving Rhawnhurst Middle School. I always wondered how my best friend from way back, Christine Schmidt's doing. I always wondered how many of my friends from back in the day were doing, especially my other friend Lindsay, and also my friend Michael, and a lot of other great friends of mine from back in the day, and also my friend Maria, who came to Philly from Greece. She was a very nice girl, and I also wonder if what she's been doing lately, and how she's been doing. I often wonder how all my friends from Rhawnhurst Middle School are doing. Luckily, a couple of days after I graduated, going into the fall, I did have a phone call with Christine Schmidt, and we talked for a bit, and things are going well. I haven't really had the chance to really talk to her on Facebook, but I'm hoping that I can talk to her and we can talk again like old times, because there's so much that I want to tell her, and so much I want to talk about. I also want to talk about how I have a new lease on life, and how I'm starting to see the world a little differently. I'd like to dedicate this video to my best friend from way back, Christine Schmidt, my teachers, Miss Ofer.
Miss Stouffer? From Stouffer's? The food lady?
Sorry about that. That was the TV. That was the TV. Some commercial came on the TV, and it just happened to come on. So like I said, I want to dedicate this video to my friends from way back at Rhawnhurst, Christine Schmidt, Maria, Michael, everybody that I was friends with. Everybody that I was friends with at Rhawnhurst Middle School. Whether you're a friend from that year,
They got messed up already?
or you're a friend from that year, years before, or years before that, always remember each and every one of you. I also want to dedicate this video to my teachers, Miss Ofer, Miss Augie, Miss Porter, and my class roommate, Miss Johnson. It was truly an honor to go to Rhawnhurst Middle School. It was an honor getting to know each and every one of you. If you're all watching this video, please contact me. Please contact me if you ever want to talk or catch up. My Twitter is Flyersguy8654. My Instagram is Timmy the Flyersguy 215, and my Facebook is Timmy Flyersguy. This concludes my time at Rhawnhurst Middle School. In the next episode, I will talk about my time at Widener Memorial School and the time I graduated Widener Memorial School. Thank you, and have a good day, everyone.